Welcome back to the kitchen of Mama. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's been doing well. I want to thank everybody that's been part of my channel. And I want to say I'm sorry that I haven't put up any videos. I've been busy and Mama put me on a diet. So it's partly your guys' fault. I'm just kidding. It's not your fault. It's my fault because I eat a lot. Anyway, we're going to have today our version or my version of the chicken marsala. And it's a Mexican version, so we're going to call it the chicken marisela, okay? Now, you might be asking what's different about this than the original Italian type of marsala, and there's nothing really Mexican about it except for me. So, we got some breadcrumbs, some olive oil, some marsala wine, salt, pepper, imperial, that's butter, heavy whipping cream, onion, garlic, mushrooms, pasta, and chicken. The chicken's been cut up in really thin or kind of thin slices. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. Right there. And we got a pan over here that we're going to use. And let's get to it. Okay, so we got this pan heating on low on our stove. This one right here. We're gonna put a little bit of, tiny bit of olive oil. Little bit. Okay. Because we're not deep frying it. We're just kind of not wanting it to stick too much. We're gonna grab, or I'm gonna grab the chicken breast that was previously, ¿cómo se dice? Cut. A little bit of butter. Put it on the bread, just like that. Okay? You see it? You see it? Yes or yes? And then I'm gonna stick it on the pan. Hold on. Can you hear that? It's trumpets from the music in the background. Okay? Now that we have it here, we're gonna let it simmer for a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, sal and pimienta. Salt and pepper. I was showing you the wrong hand. Can you see it? Salt and pepper. Can you see it? Okay, we're gonna add a little bit. And a little bit of this. Okay? We'll do the same on the other side. We're gonna let this simmer for a little bit. Then we're gonna flip it. Then we're gonna add some more salt and pepper. And we'll go from there. Okay, so now it looks a little bit of white. You can see it's a little bit of white. That means it's cooking a little bit on the other side. So we're going to flip it over so it doesn't burn too bad. See how it's brown? You want it brown, not black, okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my knife, this one right here. I sell these to my website. Maybe I should, huh? And I'm going to poke it. Slice it a little bit like this so that the heat travels up like an elevator. That way. Okay? And that way, if your chicken's a little bit thick, whatever juices you have still on top will go down, and then the steam of the heat will travel upwards. And it'll help your chicken cook more evenly. Okay? And we'll let it simmer for a little bit longer. Now sometimes, depending on how much salt and pepper you like, it might taste, from some of the breadcrumbs, that when the breadcrumbs burn off a little bit, you might feel like there's not enough salt and pepper. But don't worry, because when you make the sauce and you mix the chicken with it, it'll be just right. If you plan to feed this to children and not put the sauce, what's it called? The marsala sauce on top of the chicken, or mix it with the chicken, then you might want to add a little bit of salt and pepper. It's up to you. It really depends on how salty you like it and how salty you don't. Or how desabrido. How do you say desabrido in English? Desabridation. Okay, you get some breadcrumbs, a little bit of burnt breadcrumbs. So you want to take those off a little bit because burnt taste does not taste good. Okay? We're going to finish the last two pieces of our chicken. You can see here This is kind of what it'll look like. Nice and brown and crisp. This one's a little burnt. Sorry. That one's mine. I'll eat that one. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna finish up the last 2 pieces of our chicken, and then we're gonna continue with our marsala. Okay, now remember we had some pasta in the fire. This is a perfect example of how to make glue. Okay, this is how you make piñatas. You use this. You use newspaper, and you use a piece of pottery, and you use this stuff here for glue. So this is what happens when you don't check on your pasta. Mama was in charge of that, and she didn't check it, so I'm gonna blame her for it. Shh, don't tell her. Okay, so do over with the pasta. We're gonna make some more, and then this one is basically garbage, unless you want to use it for. Okay, now that we got our chicken, we put it aside. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to a separate saute pan, o como se llama esa cochinada. Okay, and bring up the heat just a little bit. But we're also going to add a little bit of butter, just a little bit, so that we don't burn the oil, and so we don't burn the onion and the tomato, not tomato, ¿cómo se llama? The garlic. Okay. So we got a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter. I'm a terrible dancer. Okay, butter is done. Now we're gonna grab our ajo and garlic, and we want it to be brown. We don't want to burn it. We want to be careful not to burn it. I'm gonna put a little bit of onion, not too much. And then I'm gonna let it simmer a little bit. Can you hear me? Let it simmer a little bit. You want to brown it a little bit. Okay? You know, bring up the heat just a tiny little bit. Okay, so now that our garlic is a little bit brown, but not burnt, and our onion is a little bit caramelized, I'm gonna grab some mushrooms. Okay, about that much. Just gonna kind of toss a little bit. You make a mess, it's okay. We'll clean it later.
And you add the marsala sauce.
Okay? Yes. Mama said to add the marsala sauce. But before I do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of sniffer. Not too much, because otherwise you'll sniff and pour all your mocos all over your food. That would not be good. Okay, let it simmer a little bit. Okay, now that we got our mushrooms a little bit browny, not too browny. Remember, mushrooms have water, so if you put them in the fire for too long, they'll let go of all that water, and then it'll be too watery, and then it won't simmer. So we're gonna kind of saute a little bit with the garlic and the onion, and we're gonna add a little bit of marsala sauce or marsala wine. Okay? Can you see it? This is what we're using. Add a little bit more, and then let it sit. We want it to simmer in there because we're gonna add some whipping cream. Okay, some heavy whipping cream, a little bit to make it a little bit thicker. So, but we want the marsala wine to kind of boil a little bit, to simmer in there, so that the mushrooms take the flavor of everything that we've put in already. Okay. Recording? Okay, now that it's simmering, check it out. See how it's simmering? We're gonna add some of our heavy whipping cream, just a little bit, and we're gonna stir it. If I can ever get this open. That's it. We're gonna stir it, just like that. We're gonna let it simmer just a little bit longer. Beautiful! And we wanna taste it out. Needs a little bit of salt. Maybe a little bit of pepper. Okay, now that we got our sauce, our marsala sauce, we're gonna put in our penne pasta. I mean penne pasta. I was gonna toss it, but I was afraid that maybe I was gonna drop it or something. Now the pasta is optional. If you want to use pasta, you don't have to. You can just put the sauce right over the chicken. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of the pasta over the chicken, like that. Okay. And I'm gonna put some veggies right here. Hold on. Okay, so it's our Mexican version. We actually let it dry a little bit longer than I should have. The sauce should be a little bit more runny, but it's okay, it still tastes good. So anyway, there you go folks. This is our marsala with pasta, Mexican style, with some broccoli on the side and some chicken con breaded chicken stuff. Hope you enjoy it.